So here's the thing about ChatGPT. Most people think of it like it's like a search engine, and it's not. Think of ChatGPT as a very smart collaborator, right? And this is the secret that is actually going to make it very useful for you as a graphic designer, and is what we're going to build the entire concept of this video around. And it's the fact that ChatGPT is context aware. What exactly does this mean? It means that the more you feed it, the smarter it gets in the conversation, and it can remember things very specific to what it is that you are saying. Now, this is something that a lot of people kind of believe they are aware of, or you're not really using it in your work. That's why there's such a huge gap in the way you create your content. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 3 ways that you can use ChatGPT in your work to make your workflow much better, help you work smarter. And the last point is going to be showing you a unique way of generating images. Now, this is style that I use. I feel like a lot of people are noisy. I've never seen anyone use this style in their image generation, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So stick around to find out. The first tip is ideation and brand conceptualization. And this is something every designer has to deal with. Now, I'm not going to ask you to tell ChatGPT to create an entire brand identity for a client for you. You're going to get something generic. AI is not taking away the fact that you have to learn and understand these things. The better you are at graphic design, the better you'll be implementing AI into your work. So how I do it is I break it down into steps. So for example, let's take Know Your College as a brand we're trying to create a brand identity for. So instead of just dumping everything at it, first of all, you can provide context. So you can let it know that I'm designing a brand identity for Know Your College, right? So this allows ChatGPT understand the concept that you're coming in, and then you begin to flesh out your idea from there. So one other thing I do is get ChatGPT to provide visual cues. That's one very simple way to interpret a brand into a logo, is to think of as many words that can replace the words that are currently in the brand. So for example, Noah is a Greek word that is usually attributed to wisdom, to a woman, and to light. I began to explore that concept and began to look for more visual cues, and that was when I settled on 1, an owl, 2, books, and then the face of a woman. So if you can look at this logo, you can see that it's an incorporation of all of that. Now, a disclaimer is that AI can get things very wrong, especially with color psychology and cultural nuances. This is just very, very important. And then, or industry norms. So don't use it as just like a straightforward point, right? Just let it be a starting point for your ideation, and then you go back to your drawing board, put your sketches together. Always try to confirm many of the things that it says. That's why, like I said, you have to also have the understanding necessary as a brand identity designer before you can jump into something like this. You don't want a situation where you are interpreting something so wrong that you put yourself in trouble and the brand you're working with in trouble too as well. The second tip is summarizing and replying to client messages. Now, this is very, very useful when you are either summarizing emails sent to you by clients that have a lot of filler words, right? What you're looking for is just maybe like 2 lines, and then there's a bunch of other corporate stuff inside of it. Or when you're applying for a lot of roles, you really need to summarize, right, the job posting. Ensure that it's a job that you're actually qualified for, and you're not just applying for a role because you can apply for it. Now, drafting replies. Here is where it gets very useful. You know what you want, but you don't always have the time or the energy to write it out clearly. So instead, you can just dictate your response to ChatGPT. I believe the fact that you can use that dictate feature in ChatGPT is just really amazing. And I've tested ChatGPT's dictate feature, and it's very, very good. It's very able to understand the nuances of your pronunciation and interpret what you are saying very well. I even like the technology behind it. So what ChatGPT does is that it records, just like a voice note, it records everything that you say and then analyzes it and comes out with a text. Gemini tries to like type out everything you're saying as you're saying it, and many times it misses it. It's very, very wrong. So I feel ChatGPT is very good. This way you can avoid the AI jargon. You can still have your idea being the core of the message. ChatGPT to polish the idea and restructure the flow of the message. Disclaimer: do not blast out pure AI responses to clients. It's very, very easy for them to detect it and it reduces the trust. You might actually have the skill for the role or for whatever it is you are sending the email for, but the fact that they notice that you couldn't even just take out time to write out a message, or you just dumped AI stuff for them, it's going to be a problem. This strategy allows you cut away the AI stuff. It's your idea, it's your opinion, it's your personality. It's just that you just have somebody formally check the grammar and ensure that the structure is put together. Now, the final tip is image generation, and like I said, these strategies under this category, I've not really seen anybody use them, and you're going to really find this helpful. So the first one is pre-brief before generating. So one thing that I do is, before even clicking the tool section that just specifies image generation in ChatGPT, even though that I don't always use ChatGPT for my image generation, what I try to do is to have a conversation. So start a new chat and have an entire conversation explaining the image I want, right? So because I do a lot of image manipulation and photo manipulation of that, many times I need complex images, not just straight up selfies of people and all of that. I many times would have an entire session just explaining my idea to ChatGPT, trying to get it to understand what I'm saying and what I'm going for. And because it's context aware, it gets it very fast. Like, I've tried this in comparison to Gemini. Gemini almost doesn't want that explanation thing. Just give Gemini a full prompt and you're going to get, Nano Banana a full prompt and you're going to get your results. But ChatGPT allows for that context aware, that conversation. So it makes it very, very easy for you as a designer. Then the second method is enhancing your prompt. So instead of just like having a long discussion, you could have that prompt in your head, right? Then you put out your prompt and tell it to enhance it. And one other very unique way to make this better is to specify the type of AI model that you want it to enhance the prompt for. I've noticed that it does better with that, because many of these prompts or many of these AI models interpret prompts very differently. So if you can structure your prompt around the uniqueness of each AI model, you're going to get a better result. And then this final one is one I've actually never seen anybody use, and that's image to prompt. So you could find a reference image that looks like what you want. Maybe the camera angle is what you want, the pose is what you want, the art style is what you want, and then, like I said, context aware. If you give ChatGPT the image that you want and you want it to take only the pose, if you tell ChatGPT that create an AI image prompt with just the pose in this image, it's going to interpret it perfectly. Like, it's just an amazing bonus for you. So you can pick the art style, you can pick something very specific in an image and tell ChatGPT, I like this image, but this is my prompt, this is what I'm trying to get. Can you merge this part of this image with the prompt I'm giving you? And then you're going to get really, really amazing results. So those are the 3 ways I use ChatGPT in my workflow for idea generation, client communication, and image generation. If you try any of these, you let me know in the comment section. This week, we're actually going to tell you to subscribe, so please subscribe if you found this helpful. We're going to see you in the next video.